So today I want to share some sight word activities that are quick and easy that you can do with your students if you're a teacher, or if you're a parent, that you could do with your children at home to help them read sight words and also write and spell sight words. So just a quick note, these activities do come from Jan Richardson's book, The Next Steps in Guided Reading, and it's part of her guided reading template as like the word study section. But I thought these activities would be really fun and easy to do, even if you're not doing like a full-on guided reading lesson, you're just trying to practice some sight words with your kids. So this is actually like a set of 4 different activities that you can do with sight words. Again, like I said, they're quick, they're easy, and they can be done at home or in the classroom, or even done remotely if you're doing remote teaching. So the first activity is called What's Missing. And as you saw in the materials section, you'll need a whiteboard. So if you don't have access to like a real whiteboard, you could always make your own with like a sheet protector, and then you just slip a piece of white paper in there. And that could just as easily be made into a whiteboard. So this first activity is called What's Missing. It's all teacher-led. So these activities actually support a gradual release model. So the first activity is heavily scaffolded by the teacher, and the teacher does all the writing and directing, and then it's like a little bit less of the teacher, and then it goes to the student, and then it's, you know, no teachers helping at all. So especially if they're done in this order, then it does support that gradual release model. So let's say you want to practice the word when. Say, okay, boys and girls are okay, we're going to do the word when. This is when. It's W-H-E-N. That spells when. Okay, spell it with me. W-H-E-N. That spells when. Okay, I'm going to erase a letter now. So it's kind of like a little game for the kids. They actually really love it. So you erase a letter, and you go, okay, what's missing? Hopefully they say E. You're like, you're right, it's E. Okay, let's spell when. W-H-E-N. That spells when. And then you go back again. This time you erase 2 letters. I'll erase 2 letters. And you say, okay, what's missing? The E and the N. That's right. So you write it in. Okay, let's spell when. W-H-E-N. That spells when. And then you go back again. This time you're going to do 3 letters. So I'll erase my 3 letters. Okay, what's missing? Oh yeah, the H-E-N. All right, everybody, it's spell when. W-H-E-N. That spells when. And of course, if you haven't figured it out yet, you'll erase all the letters, and you're going to say, okay, help me spell when. And they're going to say W-H-E-N. That spells when. So that was the first activity. That was what's missing. Again, heavy with the teacher scaffold. I was doing all the writing. I had the whiteboard in my hands, and the kids were just saying the word and spelling it. The second one is called Mix and Fix. This is where you're going to need either foam letters or magnetic letters. If you don't have those at home, then that's okay. You can easily make your own letter tiles out of paper. So you can just take a strip of paper, write down the letters, and then cut out each of these letters to use for your letter tiles. So for this activity, I'm going to go to my document camera so you can see what the kids would do. Okay, so they would pour out all their letters, and then you say, okay, go ahead and spell the word when. So then they're going to go W-H-E-N. That spells when. And then they're going to mix it up. They're going to do it again. W-H-E-N. That spells when. And then you could have them do it one more time. I'd say do it only 2 or 3 times. Don't need to do any more than that, because again, they're supposed to be quick and easy. So again, they'd go W-H-E-N. That spells when. So that was Mix and Fix. And then you can also tell them, like, spell it back into your baggie. They're going to go W-H-E-N. That spells when. So again, that was Mix and Fix. So a little less teacher scaffold. I did give them the letters that I wanted them to use, but then they were supposed to be manipulating and spelling it by themselves. The next one is called Writing on Your Desk or Writing on the Table. So not literally, we're actually going to use our magic writing finger here, and they say, okay, write it on the table. And then they're gonna go W-H-E-N. Okay, so again, this one teacher really had nothing, no support, just okay, go ahead and write it. And then they use their finger, and then hopefully they were able to produce the letters and spell it on the table without any support. So that's right on the table, right on the desk. And then the last activity is to write it on the whiteboard. So this time, the kids would get the whiteboard and they would write it on their own. So, okay, write the word when. And they're gonna go W-H-E-N, that spells when. You might have them do this 2 or 3 times. W-H-E-N, that spells when. And then that's the final activity where they're completely doing it on their own. They're actually writing it. And that was called Write It on the Whiteboard. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. So again, quick and easy. I just did 1 word, but if you're at home practicing, you might choose like 3 to 5 words to practice like that for the whole week, or whatever your teacher recommends. For teachers in the classroom, I would do the same word, like at least the same word like 2 days in a row, and then maybe move on to a new word after that if you feel like they got it. It's totally up to you and what you think your kids, if they got it or if they didn't get it. A great extension activity to this is always to try to find the word in context or read the word in context. So again, if you're doing this as part of your guided reading lesson, you're obviously going to have a leveled book that the kids are reading with you during your guided reading time. So it's important that the word you're practicing is in the book that they're reading. So if this book didn't have when, then I probably wouldn't use the word when. Maybe I use the word come or something like that, because we want them to be able to read it in context as well. If you're a parent at home, you might have some leveled readers. You might not have any leveled readers for your child to read. That's okay, because you can do like a word hunt in a read aloud that you do to them. So any book that you read to your kids, before bedtime or whenever you read, you can read it. And then if you notice the word when on one of the pages, you might be like, oh, remember that word when that we were practicing earlier? See if you can find it on this page. And then have them do like a little word hunt and find it and say, oh yeah, how do you spell when? W-H-E-N, that spells when. So you can do that with any text, right, that you're reading to your child if they're not quite reading on their own yet. So again, all these activities come from Jan Richardson's book, The Next Steps in Guided Reading. Quick, fun, easy, and I hope you enjoyed these activities and try them out at home.